Okay, guys, let me get this right so that you can hear me here. And there might be some background noise because there's some guys working outside today. It's not a big deal to me. I don't really care. But yeah, so I just came on today because it's Saturday. It's probably like May 1st or May 2nd. I'm in Ghana. And I'm going to go see the Michael Jackson movie today. And I don't really know what it's called. I just know it's about Michael Jackson, and I was a huge Michael Jackson fan, as many of the people were that came up in my era. We were all Michael Jackson fans. So I remember when Michael Jackson started making those videos and MTV and all this kind of stuff. It was just a big pop sensation. Michael Jackson was an incredible performer, and all of his stuff was hype. All of his stuff was lit, and so I remember them doing world premieres. Like Michael Jackson would make these mini movies, and they'd show on TV, and everybody would stop what they're doing so that they could see Michael Jackson perform. And then Michael Jackson had these crazy concerts where people were fainting and falling out, and all over the world, China, Japan, wherever he went, people were going crazy. Now, that's not a rumor. That's We experienced this. We saw this. And the guy was just a musical genius. And so I know the movie is not about his the way he died. The movie is not about any of the turmoil and lawsuits and all the stuff that he went through. I actually believe a lot of that was made up to destroy his name, to try to take his royalties and to try to take his catalog. That's a big thing with musicians is that sometimes they build up these huge catalogs. And Michael Jackson was quite a businessman, so he invested in catalogs and he bought the Beatles catalog and he bought all of this stuff. He owned like half of Sony, so he was a musical phenomenon. He was also an extraordinary businessman. So, but the movie is just really to celebrate his life and to celebrate, I think, the things that he loved about entertainment and his performances and how he practiced. And I watched a video the other day and that I'd never seen before. Michael Jackson said someone asked him, if you could do anything over, what would you do? Now this guy practiced religiously on his craft, his dancing, and he said I would practice more. There was no one close to his level of performance. He said he would practice more and he would hone his craft even more. And Michael Jackson, before he left the Jackson 5, he determined that when he went out on his own, he wanted to be a phenomenon. He wanted to be the greatest performer in the world. And he literally did that. He became the greatest performer in the world. And he stood for a lot of things that were incredible as well. So I'm going to go check out the movie, mainly because I just want to listen to the music again and all of that. And I just want to kind of relive it, just relive that passion he had for people, for children, for humanity. He was just a humanitarian. He was just such a fantastic guy, very misunderstood, but just such a fantastic soul. And I like musicians like that. So now the story I really wanted to share with you guys is that I remember not going to the tour Michael took with his brothers. I didn't go to that tour, and I could have, but I didn't go to that tour, and I regretted it. And I said to myself, okay, if Michael Jackson comes out and he does a performance again, I want to see it. I want to see it live. I was on a kick. I was making pretty good money at the time. I had my business going. And I decided I'm going to see Prince which I did. Uh, I'm going to see Prince, and I'm going to be on the front row of Prince's concert. And Prince had a concert. It came to Nashville, and as soon as the tickets went online, I bought two front row tickets to see Prince perform. It was the only time I'd ever seen Prince perform live, and I did that. And so then Michael Jackson came out with a tour that he was going to do. He was going to kick it off in Europe somewhere, and he was going to carry it all over the world, and he was going to end it in the States, I think. And it was supposed to be like his last big tour, and everybody was going crazy, and it was such a crazy time, and I had money, which for me, having money at that time was it was like, okay, I've got to see this concert. And I was set to see it. I'd been going online looking for tickets to come live. I was looking for tickets to go online and buy them. And I'm trying to remember. It's hard. It's very difficult to remember after his death what happened. But, because after his death, everything just kind of got erased in my mind of what happened. And I remember exactly where I was when they came on the news and said he had passed. I was in real estate, and I was showing someone a house about easily 5 minutes drive from my house. And I was in the house showing someone the house. I'd walked outside, I came back in, I was in the house, and the news, it was a news breaking news type thing. And I'm in somebody else's house, so you don't, when you're in somebody else's house, you don't really want to watch TV. And what happened was the house that I was showing, there was an elderly gentleman that lived in the house, and he couldn't go anywhere. So he was kind of in the house. So even though typically you don't show a house with somebody there already, but the owner was there, and he had the TV on. He was watching it, and somebody screamed, "Oh my God, Michael Jackson's died!" And so we ran to the TV, and we're in somebody else's house, man. We're in somebody else's house, right? And you sorry, they're banging downstairs. It might be going on for a while. I might have to cut this short. But anyway, um, okay, I'll try to cut this out of the video. But anyway, so we're looking at the TV. Can't believe my eyes. It's like, okay, guys, this tour is over. We're leaving. I got to go home, watch TV, and see what's going on. Michael Jackson had passed, okay, in LA. So, but before then, I remember I had planned that I was going to go to London. It would have been my first trip to Europe. I was going to go to London and see Michael open the concert in London, I think it was. And I hadn't bought tickets because they weren't online yet. So, but I was waiting and checking daily to see when they were going to go online. I actually would like to know the details of the story, but I'd have to ask my ex-wife because she was there at the time, and I was in a different relationship that I'm in now. And we were going to go to Europe, get a place, and check out the Michael Jackson concert, and then fly back home. That was the whole point. And we knew that the tickets in the United States were going to sell out. They were going to sell out fast, and we wouldn't get a chance to see him in the States. So, but if we went to Europe, we would be able to see him. We did get tickets. I felt 100% sure about that. And then they reported that he had passed away. Now he had been practicing for the concert, so they were already showing stuff on the news that he was practicing for the concert, and this was going to be a big deal. They were already putting out advertisements for it, and I just remember that. And so I never saw the ending of this story. I never saw Michael Jackson perform live, and I wanted to, but I didn't. Uh, I did go see the movie that they made about the show, about the show that never happened. I did see that. I either saw it online or I saw it on TV or something that they showed it, and I went to see that. But I never saw him perform live. That was the one concert I regretted not seeing. Because I'm an avid music fan. I have a record collection, old albums. I have the vinyls. I'm actually going to fly back to the States to get rid of my album collection, to get rid of my old car and all that stuff because I'm going to move abroad and I'm going to be living abroad permanently. But I want to go back to the States and get rid of all those things, give those things to people who might want them. And then I'm going to leave the States for good. But today, my wife and I, we're going to go see the new Michael Jackson movie. And so I just wanted to share that story because Michael Jackson meant a lot of things to a lot of people, but he was a special performer, the best who ever did it in our time and in our generation. And I'm just happy that they're honoring him. And I want to support the movie because they're honoring a great fellow. They're honoring a great person who tried to do some good with what he had. And he lived an incredible life of music, a tragic life in many ways. He was abused, and people, you know, i- he tried to overcome his abuse by helping others who would potentially be abused. And so he wanted the world to know about his passion, and his passion was protecting children. So now here's the thing: mainstream media and all these other things, man, they attacked him and they tried to make him out to be the monster he was trying to protect kids from. And today we know that that was all a lie. That media does this to people who they feel threatened by. And Michael Jackson was a powerful person. He was a black man, and many people in the industry felt threatened by Michael Jackson. But Michael Jackson lived an incredible life, and so many people loved him. And so I hope people will show him support. I'm definitely going to go to see this movie. So with that, I'm just going to close this out. But yeah, I hope you guys get a chance to see the movie, support Michael Jackson's legacy, keep him and his family in your prayers, and yeah, just really support the guy, support him because he deserves it. So wherever you are out there, Michael, thank you for the music, thank you for the love. Uh, yeah, that's it. Have a good day.